Welcome to Community. I'm your host, Cody Thompson, and I'm really excited to be here today with my special guest, Keturah. There's a lot happening in the NDIS at the moment. Keturah, it's so great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Cody.
That's all right. It's been a long time coming. We've been talking about getting you on the podcast for a little while, so I'm glad it's finally here.
Yes, no, I've been looking forward to it, actually.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a bit about you. Tell us about your, experience in the NDIS, what you do right now, and let's go from there.
Sure. Look, I've worked across the health and human services sector for coming up to 2 decades.
Yeah, wow.
And I came into the sector after being in a Fortune 500 company, one of the largest IT distributors in the world, which was amazing and a very different experience to anything I've ever had. So, all of our conferences were on Hayman Island and in Phuket. And I was really good at my job. I was really good at it. I got lots of awards and all this sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, it didn't feed my soul. It didn't give me something that was worth the grind, that was worth being yelled at because the latest EA game hadn't come out in time, or it's meaningful for other people. It just didn't hit the spot for me. So when I started looking for another job, I was like, what is it that I want to do? And all I knew was that I wanted to do something that made a positive difference to somebody's life. And I happened upon an amazing organisation and had an opportunity to get into, at the time, aged care.
Yep.
But it wasn't direct services. It was an organisation that was funded entirely by the government, and we ran all of their quality auditing, their training, and their projects work. So I fell into quality management.
Love it.
In aged care, and then it grew from there. So disability, mental health, allied health, and I've dabbled a little bit in primary health quality management as well.
You're a busy lady. Yeah.
It's exhausting. But something that, you never got asked about when you were doing your high school, what do you want to be when you grow up?
So
Learning
true.
path? Oh, quality manager, that'd be great. I didn't even know it existed. So
Shout
I
out
really
to all the kids that are gunning for a quality management career right now.
So exactly, yeah. I'm behind you 100%. But it was never anything that was ever on my radar, but just something that I've developed a real passion for, especially because I see the connection between it and amazing outcomes for clients across all those sectors. So
100%. And I can so relate to that, because my personal experience is very similar. Corporate life, very young, in a good way, tried to work really hard, progressed and all the great things that have happened and loved it, enjoyed it, would never take it back. But I just sort of got to my late 20s, early 30s. Life changed a bit. Obviously had kids, those sorts of things. I was like there's got to be more. Yeah. And for me, it was phone, so in the end telco, and same sort of thing. I really enjoyed what I did, but it's just like there's got to be more to it than this. And when you find, it's going to sound really corny, but when you find purpose, it's so hard to explain to people, but it's just so different waking up for work every day, right?
Yep. Oh, 100%. And I always consider myself being a little bit like a roadie. Like I'm not up there, with mic in hand, strumming a guitar and screaming to the audience. But, what I do sets people up for success, sets organisation, helps them to be able to shine in their own spotlight. And that I love it. Yeah. I really enjoy it. And so, it's been a bit of it's been nearly 2 decades of I guess learning and growing and working in different organisations and doing different things. I've been an external auditor. I've done quality, governance and risk within an organisation. Yeah. And then I started my business, Quality HQ, behind the scenes it's been a couple of years, but really I didn't announce myself to the world probably about 12 months ago now. Yep. And it's just it all came about really, again, being really confident and successful in the role that I was in prior to that. Yep. But it was really life circumstances that made me branch out and start my own business. Yeah. But being able to do something that I loved whilst also, managing my own life and my own family needs. Yeah. So, it's been great.
And tell us, again, for someone that's listening to this that may not understand exactly what quality management is or like what your business does, give us a bit of an elevator pitch more about like, what do you do in a day or how do you
Oh,
help organizations?
it's all the fun stuff, Cody. It's policies and procedures and risk
The
management.
exciting stuff.
Look, my goal with my business is to really make the boring stuff as interesting, accessible, and meaningful as possible. And so I provide. I haven't come up with a Brangelina style word for it yet.
Coming.
But it's coming. Watch this space. But it is a combination of education and consultation. So I provide education to providers, whether that be in their organisation for their workforce or specifically for their quality team or quality managers. But it's all wrapped up in some form of consultation. If you can't apply it and understand what it means and how it links in with everything else, I haven't educated you really well. And conversely, if I'm supporting you with some consultation, I'm coming in to do some work with you, it is with you, not for you necessarily. So if there's not an element of education, if I don't walk out of your organisation handing you something over that you understand what I did, why I did it, and can actually manage it, then I haven't done my job either. So really my approach is around, teach a man to fish. If I can do myself out of a job eventually, that's the goal. Yeah, I'm doing something right. But really it covers the whole, quality management's quite broad. So from people being confident in writing their own policies and procedures and making them really meaningful, making them really guide what it is that they do and who they are and the essence of their organisation. But risk management and incident and feedback management, continuous improvement and change management, how you drive quality culture through your organisation, systems and data and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot and it does all interconnect with each other. So really about approaching it in a way that you understand how it integrates and ultimately how all of these things, as much as people end up going, again, how much they really provide a strong and solid framework for positive client outcomes. Because that's why we all do it. And that's why my passion lies in doing this in health and human services and not
well, you can see the impact,
industry.
right? Like even if it's not like directly in front of your eyes, you just know the difference it's going to make and the quality outcomes it's going to bring. I'd love to know though, like I can imagine, and I see this even in my own personal life, but sometimes like, I don't know, you don't know you need help until you need help, if that kind of makes sense sometimes. So like how do you, like I can imagine there's so many businesses out there that could use your services, but like is there like a trigger point or like what normally happens? What's like the light bulb moment where they go like, shit, I actually need help here. Like how do I call someone? What do I get done?
I think it can be really hard. I think that's a really valid question because I think you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think sometimes, certainly smaller organisations can grow quite rapidly, and sometimes that foundational work gets left behind because you're busy focusing on clients. So it's a really integral part because when you've got that foundation, that structure, you can build upon it really well. So the foundation that you've got to be able to offer all the things that we talk about, individualized services and really involving your clients in what they want, in their goals, in their outcomes, in their service delivery and what it looks like, from a safe space, from a structure rather than it, so you've got your workforce having real confidence in what that means, what it entails, where that begins and ends. So yeah, it's hard. I think there are different things that get people to the point where they go, hang on a minute. I think I need some help. Sometimes it's audits.
Yeah.
They're a good motivator.
Yeah, I can imagine. Shake the
for
tray a little bit.
people to want to do stuff. But ultimately, my goal is to support people to have proactive quality management frameworks in place, meaning that when you get to the audit, sure, you want to do a few bits and pieces to tidy things up. But it's kind of like when the in-laws come to stay. if you've got that cleaning,
Done
if you're
70% of
on
the work
top
already.
of
Yeah. Yeah.
everything, you want to you might whip around and neat a few things up and make sure that they've got everything they need when they rock up. But you don't necessarily need to start from scratch. So there are different triggers that make people go, oh, that's really interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
That would maybe trigger them to come and see me. But I think it's quite varied.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. And thinking about like the line of work that you're in, but also just, I guess, the technological change that we're seeing now, not just in our industry, but like across the board. Can imagine AI is a real big one that sort of plays a part in what's happening. And I know a lot of businesses are trying to incorporate AI into their daily operations,
Yeah.
but probably struggle with knowing when to do it, when not to do it, how's it taking over. So like, has that really, I know you said you've only been doing it for 12 months in the sense of running your own business, but even in
Yep.
that 6 to 12 month time frame, has it changed so much now with AI?
Look, I think it's huge. I think AI is huge, and I think the shift has been so quick.
Yes.
But I think we're still really learning how to use it as a tool as opposed to a crutch.
Mm.
And I think the risk with using it, I say incorrectly, correct or incorrect, but the risk in using it when you might be relying on it too much is that you end up with really generic results from it. So unless you're putting a lot of information into AI, so it understands your organization, your complexities, the systems that you have in place, how they interact with each other, what you want for your clients, your client demographics and your culture, you're at risk that what it pumps out has actually got quite a few holes in it to actually provide you with a solid structure. So it's not that it's not helpful, and that it's not it can't be supportive of creating good quality management systems. It really is about what you put into it. Is going to be the equivalent to what you get out. So, look, I'm quite against right word, wrong word, cookie cutter approaches to things, because I think there's a risk in it.
100%.
I think there's a lot of it currently of having kind of same. The structures we put in place aren't as supportive as we really wished that they were, or that we thought that they were potentially.
Yeah. And I think they're like, I'm a firm believer that you need to find a place for it, because I think if you don't use it, you will be left behind. But the flip side to that, to your point, is if you just rush it and use it without properly understanding the consequences it could have or the challenges it could bring up, you're creating more harm than good.
Absolutely. Write me a consent policy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Enter.
Post.
Brilliant. Yeah. I'll send it out to the team.
Yeah.
I think it's about knowing what you're using it for, how you're using it, and understanding the concept behind it. I guess it's similar to me coming out and doing some consulting for organisations. If I'm not teaching you, if you don't understand by the time I've left why it's meaningful and why I've done things a particular way and how they integrate, then you're kind of left with this part of something that you've then got to try and manage and figure out where it fits. I think AI has a risk of doing that same thing, of spitting something out for you, but if you don't have the understanding, the education to sit behind the why it says those things and how to implement them and how to integrate them, I think there's that risk where we rely on it too much.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a moment now. Let's think about, I guess, more the industry that we work in and the sector that we're in at the moment.
Yeah.
I love to ask this question, but like just broadly speaking, to set the tone, what does inclusion mean to you?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's a good one, right?
It is a good one. I think inclusion is more than an invitation. I think inclusion's a bit of a buzzword.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's a real common word, and I think some places do it at an amazing job at real inclusion. And I think sometimes it's used in place of inviting. So I think I could say that I invited everybody to my party, but I didn't actually cater for everybody. Or or I'd live on the 14th floor and there's no way for people to actually get up there. It's beyond just saying, well, I said you could come.
Yeah.
You weren't not invited, but actually creating space for people to have an equal standing when they arrive.
Yep.
Everybody has the opportunity to be the lead role.
Yeah, definitely.
When they rock up.
I do a lot of traveling in my job, and this is my like connection to it, but I find I stay in so many hotels. The amount of times I go to stay in a hotel and it's like quality something, it's like quality X hotel or whatever. And like in my head, I'm like, all hotels should be quality. Like you strive to be good and comfortable and clean for everybody. Like you don't need to put the word quality in there.
Yep.
And I think it really like connects to that as well, because again, it feels like sometimes inclusion, a few other buzzwords are just the sticker that gets slapped on the wall and people start to go, oh, okay, cool, we're inclusive now.
Yep.
We've brought everyone along. And it's like, no. There's so much more underpinning from that. You can't just say that you're just letting everybody in. There's so much more.
Yeah. It's culture.
Yeah.
It's really a culture. It's not just the fact that you've opened the door for someone and said that they can come in if they want to. It's actually how you value them and how they have a voice when they come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think at the moment are like some of the challenges, broadly speaking, in the disability sector right now? Like I know we're seeing lots of providers coming in, some providers coming out of the scheme at the moment. There's a lot of change happening within the framework of the NDIS as a broad sort of scheme.
Yeah.
What do you think are some of the biggest challenges that we're facing and need to navigate over the next 12 months?
Look, I think the sector at the moment is a little bit I say a little bit lost. It's probably not the right word. It's like, I like my analogies and metaphors.
Definitely.
It's like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. Like when you get in the chrysalis, the caterpillar actually like dissolves into mush, which sounds horrible. But I feel like that's potentially where we are without going through a bit of dismantling.
Yep.
We can't actually come out as a butterfly. We can't create this new thing. And I think the sector at the moment is a bit of mush, really. But I think it lends itself to potential for change, for amazing change. But it's also really unsettling. There's nothing stable. Everything feels a bit
mushy,
soft under feet. Yeah, mushy. And we don't quite know what's going to happen next. We don't know what colour butterfly we're going to be, and we don't know how we're going to come out the other end. So I think there is this element of uncertainty in the sector at the moment that just I think we're not the caterpillar anymore, but we're not butterfly yet.
Yeah.
And so it's this sort of anticipatory anxiety.
Yep.
I think is really what I see as being that underlying vibe.
I see it. And again, through the travel we see it all around the country. I think there's so many providers that are unsure about what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone in 12 months and what's going on. And like I said, there's still, providers flooding the market. And I think for me, the worry at times is with all of this noise that like participants get left behind in the sense that the quality and the care that they need can sometimes feel like it's put to the back or to the side. And that's probably my biggest fear with this mush period is that we really need providers. We're going to coin this phrase now, the mush period.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. But we need providers to, I guess, be cognizant of the fact of where we are right now, but at the same time make sure that the quality and the standards don't slip, because I think that's the worst thing that can happen. And we won't be the great butterfly that we want to be if people are too focused on what could happen. And in reality, it's right now, it's day to day, it's still providing for our participants, it's looking after them. There's a lot of noise about what could happen next, but we don't actually know. So until we do, it's really just about continuing and sort of, for a bad term, but BAU, business as usual, like let's just keep looking after our participants.
And I think that's that it does come back to having that solid structure. It does come back to having that framework in place so that when everything around is mushy, you've got that structure within your organisation. So you focus on the facts, because a lot of guesswork going on and a lot of imagining what's going to happen. But what do we know today to be real, because a lot of those things haven't changed yet. It's this anticipatory moment that we're in. So if you hold yourself within the frameworks that you've got, those are what safeguard your clients through the change, through the mush. And when those changes do come in, and unfortunately, the change management and the support isn't always there for providers or for clients to be able to navigate them really confidently. But when we've got that structure in place to be able to, hang things on and to start building from that when the changes happen, then that's the thing that saves us through those, more wobbly times.
All right, so now we're going to kick off the sharp 7. So this is a bit more quicker answers about some, pressing questions around the NDIS and disability as a whole. So the first one is a one-worder, so I like these ones. What's one word that you think accurately describes the state of the NDIS today?
Evolving.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go with mushy, but I'll take
Mushy.
evolving. That's all right.
But yeah, let's put a spin on mushy.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
I
call
like
it evolving.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Well, we did kind of touch on this, but I'll get you to elaborate a bit further perhaps. What's the biggest challenge you see right now in the sector?
Oh, look, I think it's overwhelm and a bit of uncertainty.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is that same thing we talked about.
Yeah.
It really is just that needing some supportive change management through the changes that are happening at the moment and just feeling like there's a lot of them in quick succession.
Let's flip it. What's the most rewarding part of your job? What you do day to day that you love going to work for?
I love light bulb moments of seeing them in other people.
Yeah.
I tend to, I'm a bit of a storyteller.
This is shock.
I know. But I love when I'm talking to people, when I'm working with people and they just have that moment of going, I never thought about it like that before. That just clicked, or I can see how that works. I love that. I just love those light bulb moments, seeing them in other people.
That's really cool. Okay. What about, let's think about Quality HQ, your business, for a second.
Yep.
If funding wasn't an issue, money wasn't an issue, what's one service that you would offer tomorrow, something you'd love to be able to do that you know would have a big impact?
So if you've not heard of it before, there's a place called Humanitas in Netherlands.
Okay.
And they have they do both facility and community versions of intergenerational care. So they have a building near the university where all the university students live for free in exchange for a minimum amount of hours every month that they spend with the senior residents in the facility.
I did not know this.
They eat with them, they play games, they have birthday celebrations, Christmas, they take them out shopping. There was one guy who bought a sidecar for his motorbike for one of the ladies there.
That's cool.
And takes her out in the sidecar of his motorbike. I would love to create something like that.
That is really cool. I love that.
Yeah. It's just, amazing. And, look, it could work across sectors as well. Certainly something be amazing in disability.
Well, it's a win-win on both sides, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it here first. Let's
watch this
let's
space.
explore. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
On Powerball.
All right. Well, what's the best advice you've ever received as a business owner?
Put your own oxygen mask on first.
I like that.
Yeah.
Someone that travels a lot. I get the reference, the analogy.
You've had that one.
Yeah, but
the whistle and a light. No, I think in amongst anyone who's in any role, we're humans first.
Yeah.
And we naturally in the sector, we're in a care sector. We're naturally, majority of us are really caring people. So it's really easy to be looking at how you can help everybody else all the time and put all of your energy into that. And when you run out of energy, you just a lot of the time keep pushing.
Yep.
So not filling from an empty cup.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very powerful message.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay. 2 more. What's a hobby or an interest that Keturah has that no one else knows, or like something you can share with us that people might not really, understand?
Oh, music.
Music? You're a muso?
Music.
Okay.
Yeah. Listening to music.
What's your favorite
music.
genre?
Oh, no, that's too hard.
That's too hard.
I don't
anything
even.
music?
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm not a big country and western fan, but pretty much anything
Okay.
else. I mean, yeah, I love music.
We do have a boot scooting section next, so no.
Oh, that's me out.
Yeah, you're out. Oh, nice. All right, and last one, we always finish with this one, but like, how do you define community?
I define community as the power of connection, of people coming together regardless of what they come with, what they bring with them, but the power of those people coming together and supporting each other to succeed in whatever way.
Love it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's been so great chatting with you today. We've gone through a lot of different things, which has been awesome. So thank you for that.
Welcome.
Is there a message or a piece of advice that you'd love to share with our audience in terms of, I guess, a takeaway? Obviously, you're giving us some things to Google now as well, so we'll be jumping in that for sure.
No, do. Brave the mush. Really? Like, I think remember who you are through it.
Yep.
Remember that things will change around you, but having a solid core and a solid understanding of who you are whilst those things change around you is where your power is. So be confident.
I can see that
in
on like a
yourself.
shirt, Brave the Mush or something. We're going to have to find a
Brave
way
the
to
mush.
bring it to life amongst the community. I love that.
Can't wait.
But it's so true. I know someone that says quite a lot, but like crisis creates opportunity. And I think that's the lens that we need to put on the mush sector is
Yep.
just purely around the fact that there is going to be challenges around it. But, if you embed the right structures, you have the right policies in play, you have the right people in your organization, there will be opportunity on the other side as we become this butterfly that we keep talking about.
Yep.
Definitely.
100%.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for being here today, being so open and honest with us and chatting through everything that's happening right now. If our listeners want to get in contact with you or learn a bit more about your business, how can they do that?
Yeah, they can visit the website, qualityhq.com.au. They could also join my newsletter, Spilling the Quality. I send out every week.
Yes, I'm a regular.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is lots of stories, sometimes hilarious ones about my life that somehow I managed to circle back to some sort of meaningful education about quality management in some way, shape or form.
Well, I can attest we do get a lot of newsletters and information emails coming to our inbox. Yours is one of the very few that we do genuinely sit down and read and go through.
Thank
I
you.
think it is Monday this morning, so new one's come out for the week. Am I right in saying the subject line for today's one was "I'm drunk"?
Am I drunk?
Am I drunk? Sorry,
Am I
that's
drunk?
it. Yes, there you go. So that's a real insight for people for what to expect, what to understand. But it's really informative. But as you said right at the top, it's about bringing the fun to, I guess, sometimes what people can see as challenges or the boring parts of the business, but they're sometimes the most powerful, most important.
Yep.
And you do it with such a fun twist. So we definitely recommend.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks. Appreciate
Perfect.
it.
Thanks, Keturah.
Thanks, Cody.